damage reduction, the passive healing from the ultimate as well. It's all really, really good, and it's really useful. And you don't have to sit in one spot to actually get the value, get the healing, like you do with Kurumi. So I think it just comes down to team's preference a lot of the time. I don't think we could definitely say that one is objectively better than the other in all scenarios. However, it definitely comes down to a team's specific preference. Yeah,
it comes down to preference and situation, I believe. And
yeah.
that's one thing that I've started to realize a lot more about Naraka is team comps could be really good or really bad depending on the players. And it also has so much to do with the situation that you're in. And it has to do with how easy it is to put yourself into that specific situation. Right? Like, let's say lots of these heroes that don't get picked, like you could say Akos, is very good. But situationally, it's harder to put yourself into the situation where he is incredibly well performing than when it comes to putting yourself in a better situation to succeed with some of these other heroes. As we're taking a look here, we are going to see JDG's 2-tick on the top, going to reset that gray armor, taking this fight against DRG early on. We're going to see a huge parry come out. It looks like most of that damage is going to get negated, though, as WFC getting dangerously low. 2-tick is going to get a huge parry onto DRG's Zai. Most of that damage getting negated from that Kurumi tether like you were talking about earlier. We're going to see 2-tick trying to go in with that 1-2, going for that overhold. Kiki now, it's a 3v1 against JDG's Zai, or DRG's Zai, and they are going to go down, wiping DRG out for the very start of this game, putting them in a lower position into the standings, and is going to end up having to put them on the reset. Looks like WBG now in the same 3v1 situation. Temi ultimate on the side of WBG, but the huge parry is going to come out, and the follow-up punish with the jumping LMB is going to come away with the elimination for Alliance. 4 kills, 3 kills on the board so far for Alliance, wiping WBG out for the first part of this game. Going to send them to the Soul Altar. WBG able to pick up 1 kill, pre-res, and they're going to be forced to take the reset, try and scale back up into this game, as we're going to keep on going with the fights, ladies and gentlemen. T-Isan able to get that silence up onto XCG's Kakashi, now putting him in a very sticky situation.
Oh my lord.
Just sending him flying, nothing he can do about that. Very difficult for him to be able to come away with anything there. Tries to pop the F ability to get out of the way of the damage coming through, but he's unable to avoid it. He just gets sent flying the terrain, doing nothing to help him in that situation as well. Fun plus Phoenix, no kills on the board. They still have their resurrections. They could be getting active right now. Looks like they're choosing to reposition themselves instead. Could be coming up against Bamboo Esports here. Some range shots getting sent back and forth over. This could be a pretty interesting fight if it starts to pop off here. We see the Takeda ultimate up for Roy Hehe, but Fun plus Phoenix don't have their ultimates ready. It looks like they might try and back off. Ballista shots coming out. Roy Hehe not liking the feel of this. Is going to end up backing off, trying to go for a little bit of a reset here before re-engaging into this fight.
Indeed. I think it's probably best that they don't look for this engagement, not only because of the Ballista, but also because Roy Hehe, unfortunately, doesn't have his upgraded Takeda ultimate. And one of the big things when you're playing the Sand Siphon composition is the fact that your power as a team to take engagements largely depends on whether or not your Takeda has his ultimate stacked up. Right there, if you happen to see that Takeda who is sitting in the bush nigh HQ there, he has the ultimate, but around the ultimate there's a little circle that has lots of little marks on it, and that indicates what sort of level the ultimate is on. And the levels are obviously the white version, common version, and then there's an epic version, which is the purple, and then a gold version. The common version has 3 shoves, and they're not super long range, but they're still pretty decent in terms of range. However, when you upgrade it to the purple state, it has not only wider and longer range, but also it has 4 charges. And then when you upgrade it to the legendary state, it still has 4 charges, but it has a much longer and wider range. And if you get caught by it, not only do you get staggered, but you get pulled in towards the Takeda as well. if you're caught by that push. So the power of the Takeda ultimate is very, very dependent on whether or not you've managed to scale up. And that depends on not only what rarity of weapons that Takeda has in his inventory, but also what his teammates have. Something to bear in mind if you're ever playing with or as Takeda with V3 in trios. It's not just what weapons you have, but the weapons that your teammates have as well, and it makes all the difference. Oh, we're seeing a fight here. Speaking of Takeda, Baige with that ultimate, trying to make his way into this fight up against JDG. Tutik finding a huge parry onto Axiao, juggling him down the terrain. Unfortunately, not able to finish him off just yet, but he does find the F3. Axiao so unbelievably low, but manages to find the heal. Gets those healing berries off before he gets taken down by the fire damage. Tutik now on the back foot, getting caught by the rest of the team, coming in to try and peel for Axiao. The Wisp comes in, the parry as well, getting him very, very low here. Now he's left in a 1v1 to deal with Sleepwalker. Sleepwalker trying to hold him down for a second, but the F3 is going to come out yet again. He's going to be able to get away from danger and pick up the Soul Bloom that they managed to get from killing Axiao. And now Baige also going to be taken down, and JDG have been able to dictate the pace of this fight extremely well. Tutik, definitely the carry of this team, I have to say. He was able to hold his own, put Axiao onto under a lot of pressure, going for the optimal target, so to speak, and then forcing his teammates to come and peel for him, and creating opportunities for them to find those isolated fights, those isolated focuses that they needed to come away with the dub in this fight. Very nicely done by this team. But for now, you know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the Realm of Yang. It started to spawn in, and it's a third of the way done. Another 2/3 of the Realm of Yang timer left to go. And we've definitely got a lot of teams looking to get into this Realm of Yang. We have a little bit of a scrap going down between TE and Alliance down in the south, it seems. We got a little bit of an engagement, but nothing sticks. They do seem to try and disengage. Alliance looking to path up northward, potentially to go shopping or potentially go into this realm of Yang themselves. J-Team definitely looking to go in 5-1. Looks as though they might not be going for it, and instead looking to go for this Spirit Well instead, as the Spirit Well not only gives you some nice loot, but it also does give you a buff. As you can see on the icon for the Spirit Well, you can tell that it's going to give the person who unlocks it, or the team that unlocks it, White Tiger's prowess. But heading over to JJH, a team manages to make it in before them, but they're waiting. They're waiting to see if potentially they could go uncontested, as, quite frankly, if you can go uncontested in the Realm of Yang, although you miss out on some potential kills, you don't take any risk. You know, you're not taking any risk. You're gonna get that armor, you're gonna get that buff, you're gonna get that golden weapon for free. And that's always nice. You're going to be able to come away and take fights with those resources in hand. But we're taking a look at 5-1, a team that I thought would likely go for the Spirit Well, and that's exactly what they have done. Alliance looking to contest them, though, managed to force them off. But TE been waiting, biding their time to try and come in at the right moment in time, and they managed to do exactly that. They force out the ultimate from lane, hit him with the Tessa ultimate as well, taking off all of his armor. But TE now have committed their cooldowns. They're going to have to disengage as well, as another team is going to come in for the third party. 5-1 coming in for revenge onto Alliance, but unfortunately they don't play it. They don't play their cards right, and unfortunately Pampy is going to get obliterated, and Alliance are holding their ground extremely well. TE now coming back into the mix yet again, just going back and forth. Alliance playing King of the Hill, trying their best to hold their ground, and they're managing to do it. Han getting hit by this parry, but hitting them back with a parry of his own. Lane getting dangerously low. The Tessa ultimate is in play, and they do get taken down, but thankfully for them, the Wu Chen is going to come in and save the day.
Taking a look now, flipping to the Realm of Yang, we are going to see Fun plus Phoenix facing off against Bamboo Esports. As we're going into this Realm of Yang, it looks like these ultimates are going to be running to the end of their cooldowns. Roy Shishi taking a lot of damage here is going to end up going down. Fun plus Phoenix's water on the Yushan is going to be able to come away with the kill here. Snack going to try and peel for his teammate here. Ivan is going to end up getting parried pretty quickly, gets knocked out of Punisher range due to water coming away with some follow-up damage, and the 1-2 from water on the Yushan is going to come away with the kill, securing them the victory in this Realm of Yang. Fun plus Phoenix able to pick up a nice little bit of loot, and it looks like J-Team, winners of the other Realm of Yang. I'm not sure if they went uncontested or if they did end up winning that Realm of Yang, but they did pick up that Vermilion's Birdmite, which is going to give them a huge second chance life if they want to engage onto some of these fights. It looks like DRG, also the winners of a Realm of Yang, facing off against JJH. So I'm pretty sure they did have to take a fight there. Would be very nice to see if J-Team picked up a couple more kills onto the board. It looks like JJH, no kills on the board for them so far. Their Transformers comp has been sort of equalized by some of these other teams as they've started to come onto these Transformer comps. And these teams are outperforming what JJH was able to do in that first game on the Monk comp. J-Team finally having a game where they're doing a little bit better. 6 kills on the board for them so far. And they are going to have quite a ways to go. But, you know, it's a start in the right direction. They do have that Vermilion's Birdmite, so maybe aggressing for these next 80 seconds, picking themselves up a kill on a team that is looking for Soul Blooms. Could be a very good idea to try and find JDG. Catch one of these teams that lost the Realm of Yang out in the wild. Try and catch them slipping, maybe without some ultimates or something like that. Hopefully we'll be able to see something like that happen. If not, we are going to be seeing them just coming away with their life. And it looks like J-Team actually does have a bounty on them from one of these Yang depletion teams. So we could see a pretty nice fight going on, but they do only have 51 seconds left on their on their Vermilion Birdmite. So they might not want to take this too quickly here, at risk of going out. It looks like Lee, Ice. Oh, we're going to see the fight pop off, ladies and gentlemen, as we start to go. 2-tick, going to be the first one focused out here. You're going to see the F3 come out. F1 Bell coming out. Lee going to ult right away. JDG2 going to get a lot of damage off onto Ice here. Trying to get the grab off, but the F3 going to come out and save them. They will have one more F3 once that Matari ultimate's going to come out, but they are going to get the one grab, dealing a lot of damage. Able to get the slam off, not dealing the slam damage. Kiki barely coming away with their life there. The double grab, the double slam here, ladies and gentlemen, is going to come through, pick up 1 kill. The re-grab onto ZDI. Kiki just going to try and hold and hide away in that follow-up damage. Gonna get 2 kills. Kiki, the Z-Ping Yang for Team JDG, the last player alive. That F3 is gonna come out, able to break the combo, and Kiki is gonna go down. That Mortal Defiance is gonna come out. F available, gonna pop that to try and regain a little bit of HP. Tries to go for that overhold here. We're gonna see that Harry try to come out. I'm gonna see him trying to go for an uppercut, but this is very, very difficult for him to come away with this here. F ability coming out. J-Team's actually getting decently low here, and they have lost their Vermilion's Birdmite. So the meter dump coming out is gonna be very difficult for them to come away with that. Kiki picking up a kill, getting the Soul Bloom disc. Oh my goodness. If he gets, he's gonna get parried here. So he is gonna end up going down. But if J-Team sold that into a 3v1, I would have been very upset. But 9 kills on the board for J-Team, taking the lead.
Let's go!
So happy.
You're feeling it, bro. You're feeling it. You're gonna get that jersey on, bro. Go get the jersey on.
I'll stay here for this game, but as rest assured, the jersey will be on for the second half of games.
Yeah, we'll get the jersey on for the second half of the day. But J-Team picking it up now, and they've actually managed to get themselves off of that bottom spot. No longer are they in 12th place, ladies and gentlemen, and they are going to be able to potentially keep this ball rolling. If they don't die going into this endgame, this could be the game, because they're playing the Transformer comp. You know, if they make it to the endgame, they have an extremely good chance of coming away the MVPs, considering as well that they already have the most kills in the lobby. The second highest is TE, although TE is an extremely strong team, and they are actually about to equalize this point lead, I think, with this kill they're about to pick up onto Godley. They they're definitely not necessarily playing the late game composition. You know, J Team's got the traditional Transformers. TE, they're gonna have to try and get as many kills as they can leading up to the end game, but whether or not they're able to actually stay alive in the end zones and continue to like actually do well and get as many kills as possible is not, it's not going to be as easy. It's not going to be as easy to survive, as we know that Wu Chen just loses value the further and further you get towards that that final zone, the very close quarters situation. You know, like where are you going to teleport to? You know, the best thing that you can try and do potentially is use the teleport to iframe something like a Viper Stun or a Tessa Charm, as we have seen it done, and but it's extremely hard to pull off. It's actually like the timing of it is very difficult. So and you have to be careful.
You have to watch out as well, because you could iframe one Tessa ult, or you could iframe one Viper ultimate, and then all of a sudden you're getting thrown into another Viper ultimate, which is the difficulty that you have when playing in this, having so many of these compositions coming out. Right now there is TE is playing on it, EWG is still in the game playing on it, and Alliance. So 3 comps playing on the blind date. We've got DRG, XCG, and DRG, XCG, and BBE. BBE's only got 2 members left, and it looks like they're getting aggressed onto very quickly in this game. With the Sand Siphon comp, the rest are going to be compiled of 2 Transformers and 1 2-player Siphon comp still alive, or Ninja, if you will. I'm still trying to get that to roll off for everybody. But TE picking up another kill onto the board, putting themselves ahead of J-Team at 10 eliminations. And, you know, this is fine. J-Team still have the chance to win it. They, like you said before, they have the better late game comp. Right now, all the amount of comps per team, like how many comps of that specific comp are left in the game, you know, it's 2 to 3 comps left for every single team. No comp is going to get caught out because they're an outlier right now, except for 5-2-1 on the Siphon comp. They're the only team that have that. They're the only comp of its kind left. So they do have a really good shot at winning this. They just cannot throw that end game, as 5-2-1 is going to end up losing a member here really quickly to EWG. EWG in the 12th spot. They did get surpassed by J-Team, as J-Team have had an amazing game so far in game number 3, picking up 9 eliminations, putting themselves at 22.8 points. If only they had been able to keep this consistent in the first couple of games, they would be at least 7th place by now. 7th, maybe even 8th. They've put 2.2 to 2.7 points in their first 2 games. And it looks like BBE is going to be another team eliminated, letting J-Team go even higher in the standings, giving themselves a better shot at victory. And hopefully they're going to come away with it. Alliance picking up that kill, using that White Tiger's prowess to come away victorious.
Indeed. But now I reckon we're going into that period of the game, where a transitional period where teams are looking to scale up and get those get all the J's that they can. You can see that TE Han is getting his pockets filled up with money, and they might be heading over to a shop, potentially try and get themselves some Jades, or potentially, if it's still in the shop, they can potentially find themselves a golden armor, as you can now buy those from the shop here. But who knows? FPX, though, they managed to pick themselves up a golden armor. It looks as though potentially they have bought this from the shop, so there might not be one for a little while, as they're not. So there's 2 in the shop, I'm pretty sure. I think there's only 2, and you can buy them, but you can't buy them at the same time. So the second golden armor will become available as the zone closes in, as the timer ticks down, and we're getting to a point now where there's not all that many teams alive. We've got 23 people alive, and it's 10 minutes. So back to that kind of the situation that we're usually in, where there aren't all that many players left alive around this point of the game. You know, last game we had 27 people alive at 8 minutes or so, and now we've got 23 at 10. So we'll definitely see some of these teams that look to just try and loot up. You know, I mean, there's nothing really more to say here, except for the fact that 5-1 Yin actually just gets taken down in the kill feed, unfortunately, for him. And as you said before, they are the odd ones out. They are on that Xiphon composition, the ninja comp, as you like to call it. So they have to be careful.
It's not sticking.
It's not looking too good for them, especially considering that Pampy is out there on his own. And I don't see any of his teammates. So it's not looking too good for 5-1, unfortunately. But hopefully they're going to be able to salvage this. Hopefully they're going to be able to stay alive as long as possible. But I want to see J Team. I want to see what kind of loot they've got going for them. But yeah, look, they're waiting for this to unlock the gold armor. Oh, instant! He's fast on those clicks. T.E. Han managing to snipe it away. But yeah, thankfully for them, they're able to get that golden armor. I wonder if there was another team waiting at the shop or at a shop to try and get it for themselves, and he just got beaten out by Han. But we'll never know, I suppose. EWG kind of stuck in a bad spot here. The Moonbane applying a lot of pressure, and it looks as though Pampy is going to get taken down here by DRG in the kill feed, unfortunately. Unfortunate to see, and I think that might be all of them down for the count. It is indeed. So we have 5-1 BB and WBG alongside JJ's and JDG all eliminated from this lobby.
So
we're taking a look at the remaining players. Yeah, J Team, surprisingly, they have 9 kills. EWG's on 2, but they're only 0.3 points ahead of them.
Yeah, and the overall standings, J-Team has not put up a lot of numbers, so even with a 9-kill game, still being in 11th place. Unfortunate to see, but if this trend continues in this direction, we are going to be seeing them climbing up and hopefully taking that 6th place space away from one of these other teams. And taking a look at the hero comps, right now we've got 2 Transformers, 3 Blind A, and 2 Sand Siphon comps going into this final circle. And Fun Plus Phoenix and J-Team being the ones on the Monk comps. If they ult early and coming out of their ult in this like circle 5 closing on to circle 6 when everyone's starting to rotate in and these ranged battles are starting to happen, when you see these Monk ults coming up a little bit early so that they can try and get 1 in the 5th circle, 1 in, and then maybe 1 or 2 in the 6th and 7th circle, it makes it a lot more difficult for them, because as soon as they're going to come out of these ults, they're going to get hit with all of these Chessa charms, they're going to get hit with the Temi walls, and they're going to have a difficult time. So if they're able to manage to get one of these Blind 8 teams out right now, they're going to have a lot easier of a time coming through, as EWG just spent their Wu Chen ult to get out of that sticky situation. They are going to try and build that rage up with some ranged fights to get that rage back, get the ultimate back online to be able to re-enter into this fight. It looks like TE trying to contest from the other side. J-Team getting sandwiched between, it looks to be XCG and TE, forcing them to reposition here. They're going to be running into Alliance and Fun Plus Phoenix on the other side. It looks like Fun Plus Phoenix taking the most of this range damage.
No, Zhongxing
getting blitzed real low here. Is gonna survive. You're gonna see the ult coming out, but XG with the range shot gonna come away with the elimination, and the Bane's Breath not doing them any favors either. Going to deal some damage onto Xiaohu. Again and again, this Bane's Breath is griefing these players in these final circles, and it looks like they're getting focused on now by DRG. And having this Monk comp go out early, this is not going to be good for J-Team either. They're going to be the only Monk comp left in the game, and now EWG getting focused on by Alliance. EWG without their Wu Chen ult too could be very dangerous for them, as we are going to see them try and make a last-ditch effort. 9 now getting dangerously low. Is going to try and scale rush out, but Alliance's bow going to come away with the kill. XCG trying to come in on this third party, unable to come away with anything though. And EWG losing 2 members. This is a very unfortunate turn of events for them. Having 1 player left in this final circle, it's going to be difficult for them to pick up any more kills. They do only have the 3 eliminations on the board, so they're just going to try and go for placement and survive as long as possible. But as we know, and as Theme predicts, most of the time the Wu-Chan is going to get caught out, no matter how many wind walls he throws up with the F3, and no matter how many times he teleports, they're going to find him, they're going to get him, he's going to go out pretty quickly here, as TE very, very stacked, as always. We see the a lot of damage coming out now, and EWG is going to get hit with the Tessa Charm, and XG is going to go up pretty quickly here. Alliance's Revenge coming away with the elimination. XG trying to come away with a third party. Revenge now taking a decent amount of damage. Alliance forced to back off as J-Team waiting in the wings. They've actually got a really good position here to start third partying as soon as the circle starts to close even more. They're going to play on this low ground and be able to hold away. The focus on XCG and Alliance right now. Having Alliance on 2 blue armors, huge detriment to their composition. And hopefully they're going to be able to come away with something here, though, because they are performing very well, and it would be a shame for them to go out this early.
Indeed, it would, but let's get ready to rumble, guys. Let's get ready to go. We've got a lot of spicy action just waiting to be unleashed as this zone is getting closer and closer. They're being pushed together, pushed into close quarter fights, and every single team is trying their very best to stand strong and to stay together as they're getting pushed onto, they're getting pressured by anyone who finds them in their sights. Alliance, I have to note, is doing an extremely good job so far leading up to this point. They managed to find 3 eliminations, I think, onto EWG, cleaning up that team and taking full advantage of the fact that they didn't have their Wu-Chen port. Extremely nicely done. Although, unfortunately for Alliance, they do have 2 members on blue armors, so they will get taken down a little bit more easily than a team that has better armors. But taking a look here, they are taking the initiative and they are getting very aggressive, jumping down with that Viper ultimate, trying to push this team off of the Spirit Well. But it looks as though J-Team is not having any of it. They're not going to let them take this away from them, and they're coming in and taking full advantage of the fact that it's right next to the edge of the zone, and the fact that Alliance have used their Viper ultimate. But taking a look here in this building, TE have been getting aggressive, jumping onto DRG. The Viper ultimate resulting in a death on the side of DRG. Xi does get taken down in the zone there, unfortunately for him, not able to stay alive, and it looks as though there's no shot at getting a revive onto him. Unfortunately, DRG having to fully disengage. They do still have their Kurumi alive, but he is getting put under a lot of pressure. Wuxing tries to grapple up, but does get grapple staggered out of it. FPX, though, in a pretty solid position here. They do have this cannon. They are going to be able to apply a bit of pressure onto TE, but TE, thankfully, having that F3 from the Wu-Chen is going to be able to protect them from a whole bunch of that damage. However, the same cannot be said for Alliance, taking an absurd amount of damage on this rooftop by the cannon. It looks as though Alliance bow is going to get taken down by LYD. Unfortunately, DRG does get caught by a Wisp up there, it seems, and WFZ getting taken down extremely low, forced to drop down with that golden fan, popping that Takeda ultimate, trying to siphon a bit of health back and to try and apply some pressure outwards, having been taken so unbelievably low. He's trying his best and is not really getting all that much value. Unfortunately, the tether is locked and he is getting passively healed, but who's to say it's going to be enough to keep them alive in this end game? However, it looks as though J-Team have taken the initiative and have jumped on top of this rooftop to try and get themselves a good spot as this zone starts to close in further and further. WFZ getting caught there on the roof. Looks as though Xiaohu has been forced to use this Monk ultimate. He does get the grab onto TE's Leo, but unfortunately I think he did get silenced there, so he wasn't able to slam and take advantage. Xiaohu now taken down very low, as when you get grabs, if you don't slam the player, if they get out of your hands, you lose some of your HP when you get staggered. It's not what you want. You definitely want to get those slams down as soon as possible. You don't want to let them go. Unfortunately, he does get taken low, but he's still going. J-Team, I'm struggling to see where they are right now. I think that Yueshan is in ultimate, but FPX, unfortunately, he's been He's been left on his lonesome. He's the only one left alive on his team. Alliance as well in the same situation. Jumps into the building with the Viper ultimate, trying to make something happen, but unfortunately just not able to do enough damage. Not enough until he does get taken down, forced into the zone. T. Han also in a very bad spot. And J-Team is actually going to be the last man standing, able to use that Mug ultimate at the right time. You want to save that ult as long as you can so that you can reset that health bar, and that's exactly